My name's Matt Savage. I'm originally from Deltona, Florida. I was in the Army 21 years, retired in 2024 out of Fort Meade, but most of my time was at Fort Bragg with Special Operations Command. So I got into golf in 2019 when I was promoted to Master Sergeant, and my boss said, the only way we're going to have time to talk to each other is on a golf course, so you better learn how to golf so we can talk about the soldiers. And since starting golf and with my transition, it's actually given me an opportunity to make connections and friends. Being in the military, we tend to make some friends and then leave. And while we may stay and connect with others, it's hard to keep those relationships and those friendships. So golf has kind of given me a new way to make new friends, especially veteran friends that we can have share commonalities and still be able to do things together and enjoy golf. So I was looking to become a caddy as I was transitioning out of the Army, and I was a patient at Walter Reed through a lot of the adaptive sports and rehabilitation programs. They gave me the opportunity to look in various programs, and I was trying to caddy. I reached out to PGA Hope and different things, and a couple nonprofits said you should really look into Loops Fore Troops. They had some good friends that were starting up the organization, and so from the first day you guys created a post on the internet, I sent a DM and was hoping that I could make the cut for the first class that you ran. I would say it really started from arrival. Just getting into Bandon Dunes, even though it was dark at night, rolling in, just seeing the house we were in, being there in that environment. I think it kind of separates us from just doing some training at our home course, right? Like it felt like basic training. Like we were away, you had to make 5 new friends, and we really got closer to each other, and then moved on to starting in training right away. There wasn't really any downtime, which was great. Like we got right into it. The training out at Bandon Dunes was the best I've ever had in any type of formal caddy training, simply because we were working with what I would say is some of the nation's best caddies out that resort, and having them as our members or our guests, right, as our players, they really put us through the ringer. Some guys hit bad shots, some guys hit great shots, but we got to see all of it, and I don't think there's a more beautiful place than Bandon Dunes. So being out there on those courses, doing those walks was absolutely wonderful. Yeah, so since I left Loops Fore Troops last year, I have been caddying full-time at Columbia Country Club in Chevy Chase, Maryland. I have recently started caddying at Burning Tree Club in Bethesda, Maryland. I've caddied at the U.S. Adaptive Open. I've caddied at Rodeo Dunes, their first ride for their opening inauguration, and I believe they called me because of my time with Loops Fore Troops and our relationship with Bandon. And this winter I'll be going down to Jupiter to caddy at Jupiter Island Club. So I'm doing everything I can to caddy full time. I'd love to find myself on a tour. So hopefully this winter I can work towards getting either on Korn Ferry or LPGA Tour. Now that I've caddied for, almost 3 years, and, a year and a half since graduating from Loops Fore Troops, I can say I think veterans are probably some of the best caddies because, jokingly, we know how to go through terrible situations and make the best out of it. So whether it's somebody that hits 120 shots or somebody that hits 68 shots, we are able to keep the motivation throughout the whole round, whether it's 4 hours or 5 hours. Where veterans understand that there's a mission. Veterans work together as a team. I've seen other caddies that don't want to help you on the course, and they leave you out to your own. And anytime I get a chance to caddy with another veteran, hey, you take the bunker, I'll take the greens, or something like that. So it's always, we understand teamwork. We understand the ability to grind together. And the biggest thing is veterans know how to serve. A lot of people forget that being a caddy is also a job of service. And that's what's the most important part for me. It's not about the 18th hole, putting your hand out there and getting money in it. It's about serving that member, serving that club that you may work at or the resort that you're at, and serving that player. And there's no one in this world that understands service better than veterans. Well, the number one thing I'd say is don't self-select, right? Don't count yourself out. Even if you've never caddied or you say caddying is something I don't want to do, I would give it an opportunity. I think we've seen guys go out there and try Loops Fore Troops and realize, wow, caddying is kind of fun. For me, I never thought it would be as fun as it is. I prefer to caddy over golf. One, I've never hit a bad shot caddying. I don't get frustrated. And that's something I think other veterans could really learn from and experience. And I also think if it's an opportunity to better yourself, find a new career, find a way to continue to serve after service, why not give it a shot? If it's not for you, that's cool. But if it is, it's a great opportunity. And I think a lot of people think caddying is just carrying bags, but we have opportunities where you could for caddy, or you can work into caddy management roles. I think Loops Fore Troops prepares and trains not only just to be a caddy, but to be a caddy master, to be a manager, you could work in the bag room and still understand greens. You could work as a course superintendent and understand, greens, bunkers, and things like that. Everything that Loops Fore Troops taught me has made me better player and just marshal of the course overall.